Hello everyone, welcome to our video series on data science using Python. So in this video, we are going to do exploratory data analysis. So we will see that how we can find the frequency table of the variables. Then we'll see two-way tables. Then we'll find the joint probability using the two-way tables. Then we'll find the marginal probability out of the two-way tables and conditional probability out of the two-way tables. And at last, we are going to see the correlation also. So let's get started. So we will start by importing. We will import pandas. Then we are going to import numpy as np. Now let's create a data frame. So we are going to use the same file toyota.csv, then index underscore column, which will make our default column as our main column, means main index column. Then we are applying the na underscore values. This will remove all the special characters to nan values, means convert all the special characters to nan value. So these were the special characters which were used in our data set. So we are going to convert these two special characters as a nan value. Okay. And then we are going to create a deep copy of our data frame df. So let's execute the cell. So it has been executed successfully. Now let's just look out the frequency table at how we can get the frequency of our variables. And first of all, what is frequency table? So when we'll talk about frequency tables, so suppose we have multiple variables in our data frame, and if you want to understand the data more, so then you can basically want to check the relationship that exists between the variables. But we can't just check like the relationship between all the variables. Means we can check the variables relationship between all the variables at one time. So for that, what we can do, we can do one by one. For example, the relationship between any categorical variable using cross tabulation, or if you want to just univariate analysis on the categorical variable, so you can also create a frequency table. So for finding the relationship between the variables, this we can also means use the cross tabulation, or if you want to univariate analysis, means just do the analysis or find the frequency of only one variable. So it means here the variable are referred to as columns, so any one column, so then you can do the frequency table also. So in pandas, for finding the frequency table of method is used, that is pandas.crosstab. So this method is used to compute a simple cross tabulation of one or two or more factors, means more variables. Okay. And by default, this cross tab computes the frequency of a table of that particular column. So let's find out the frequency of one column. Okay. So what we are going to do, we will first create an object for that, and then in this object we are going to apply the method cross tab. Inside the method, it takes some parameters. So index. So let us give the index. So what will be our index? So we are going to use the fuel type. Okay. We want to get the uh, frequency of our fuel type. Then we have to apply the columns. In the columns, we will apply count. Okay. because we want the frequency. Then drop NA, we'll do drop NA to true, means it will just calculate only the fixed values. The blank cells means the NaN values, it will just exclude them. Okay, so that's why it is drop NA. Now let's just do what? Let's just print. Okay, so you can see on the fuel type when we executed cell, we are getting the index on the column fuel type as there were only three values. So it was a categorical uh, data type. So it has only three values: CNG, diesel, and petrol. So you can see you have getting you we are getting the count of each type. So in CNG there is 15, in diesel there is 144, and in petrol there is 1177. So 1177 vehicles are which are using petrol, 144 vehicles are which are using diesel, and only 15 vehicles are which are using CNG. Okay, so this is how you can create a frequency table. Okay, using a variable. Now let's see how we can create uh, means how we can see two-way tables, how we can create a two-way table. Okay, so for creating the two-way table we have to use this method only, the crosstab method. So let's see that also. So what we are going to do, we will simply look at the frequency distribution of the gearbox types with respect to the fuel types of the cars. Okay, so we are going to use, because it is two-way tables, we are going to use two columns here, two variables together, and then we'll get that in which fuel type how many automatic, means how many gearboxes are automatic and manual, this type of thing. We're using two variables, fuel type and automatic. So let's see that. So we will apply index first. In the index, we are going to mention the automatic. Now, because we don't want the count now, so we will mention here the fuel type. Then we'll make drop NA true because we don't want negative values, means empty values. Now we will just execute our cell, and now you will get that first of all fuel type CNG, diesel, petrol, then automatic, and in the automatic there are two values, 0 and 1. So 0 denotes that they are manual and 1 denotes that they are, means basically 0 denotes false. So false means that they are not automatic, so they are manual, and 1 denotes true, so it means they are automatic. So that is the thing. So here you can see we have get the count, okay, based on two variables, based on two categorical variables. So you can see here that only in CNG we have 15 vehicles, and that 15 vehicles are manual. Okay, then if you look out in the automatic of CNG, so there are 0 vehicles which run on CNG, and they are of automatic gearbox. Then on diesel, 144 vehicles are there, and out of the 144, 144 are manual, and there are 0 values in automatic. Then in petrol, we can see that 1104 vehicles are of manual and 73 vehicles are of automatic. So only petrol is the fuel type in which there we can see automatic also and we can see manual also. Okay, but the automatic are less. So this was two-way table. Now let's just bring out joint probability out of this two-way table. So we are going to extract, means the joint probability is likelihood of, means of two independent events we are going to, means what happening at the same time, that is probability. So what we are going to do, we are going to fetch the probability values. Okay, here we are getting the normal count values. Now we'll get the probability, that how many chances are there of getting CNG manual, how many chances of getting petrol manual. Okay, so for that, PD cross tab, and we are going to use the same method, cross tab. So this method is only going to be used. Okay, actually we have to do the same. Only one parameter will get added, that is normalize, and we will make this normalize to true. So now you'll see we are getting the same format, but instead of the values, we are getting a probability. Okay. So the probability of getting a CNG car of manual gearbox is 0.011228. Now the probability of getting a petrol automatic car is 0.054641. So here we are getting the joint probability. Now let's move to the marginal probability and how we can get the marginal probability. So first of all, the marginal probability is the probability of the occurrence of the single event. Okay. So in this, what we are going to do, in this we will get the total value of a single, means of CNG on both, on manual gearbox also and on uh, automatic gearbox. So we'll get the total value also. So let's see that also. For that, I'll just, because the same thing going to be used, only one parameter will get added, and that parameter is margins. So we have to do margins equals true, and now you will get the total values both row wise also and column wise also. So means uh, we can say that on petrol, what means the total probability of getting petrol is 0.880988. Okay, then let's do the two-way table. Means we have to find the conditional table out of the two-way table. Okay, so first of all, the conditional table means the conditional probability is the probability of an event A, okay, which is given that another event B has already occurred. So means based on the another event, we will find the probability of event A. So let's look out that also. So we will use the cross tab, then we'll provide index. Now in the normalize, we are going to make changes. Earlier in the normalize, we were making it true. Now we will make index in the normalize. So if you'll see the total row wise, means if you'll do the total of the row wise, so you will get 1. Okay, so if we'll add this 0.011876 value with 0.114014 and 0.874109, so you will get the row sum will be equal to 1. So based on that row sum, we are getting our values. Now same we can do with the column also. So for the column, what we have to do, so for the columns, we have to change this index value to columns. So now if we'll do the column wise sum, so you will get 1. Okay. So this is how, based on the different condition, we are finding the probability of each variable. Now, let's come to the correlation. Let's see what is correlation. So correlation is finding relationship between two variables. This is correlation. Now, correlation gives us three values. Means it 0 and then 1 is the highest value. Means it is between 0 and 1, either on the positive side or in the negative side. So if the value is it in the isn't in the positive side one, means the highest value will be positive one, then it is that there is high increasing relationship between those two variables. Okay, and if there is minus one, means negative minus one, so this is the highest probability of get means of decreasing. Okay, and if it is zero, then it is neutral, there is nothing, there is no relation. So let's see how we can find the correlation between variables. So data frame, that will be the name of your data frame dot core, CORR. This is the method which is going to be used to find the correlation between two variables or two and more variables. Okay. Now this compute pairwise correlation of columns, excluding the NA and null values. Means it will exclude the NaN and null values and then find the pairwise correlation of the columns. Then we have to exclude the categorical variables to find the Pearson correlation. Now, what is the Pearson correlation? So this Pearson correlation is find between only numerical values, means only numerical variables. So for if you are going to use the Pearson, which is also the by default, so what you have to do, you have to exclude the categorical variables, means you have to exclude the variables whose data type are object. So let's just see that first of all how we can do that. So for excluding, first of all, we have to exclude from our data set, because in our data set there are both object and numerical values also. So we will exclude the object one. So for that, we know how we can do that. We have to use the select dtypes method. And in this method, we know that there is a parameter exclude. In this exclude, we are going to apply object. So when you'll print numerical data, so you will get only the numerical values. So you can check the shape also. Now the shape is 1436, comma 8. It means earlier there were uh, 10 values, but now we are getting only 8. So now two object values have been removed. Now what we have to do? Now we have to find the correlation. So for that we'll create a object for core matrix, and then on the numerical data we'll apply our method core, and in this we will apply the method. Now this cell has executed successfully. Now we will print. Okay, let me do what? Let me just not use print. Yeah. So as you can see, we are getting the values like this. So let's check the first row, that is price. And in the above, you can see that this is the principal diagonal. Means if you are getting the same values, so it will give you 1. For price and price, it is 1. For age and age, it is 1. For kilometer and kilometer, it will 1. So this is the principal diagonal, which can be seen as 1, 1, 1. Now, let's see the price with age. So it is in negative 0.878407. It means it is approx equivalent to negative 0.9. So you can see with the increasing age, the price is going down, means the price is decreasing. Okay. Now we can then in the kilometer also you can see it is equivalent to negative 0.6. So with the increase in kilometer, the price is going means price is decreasing. Then let's look out with the kilometer. With the increase in age, the kilometer is also increasing. Means for the vehicle, the age of the vehicle is increasing, then the kilometer is also getting increased. Okay. Then you can see with the weight and price that with the increase in price, the weight is also increasing. So that is the thing how you can find the correlation between two or more variables, and then you can perform your analysis based on that too. Means we can bring out your frequency tables, or you can bring out your two-way tables by finding the correlation, that is there is correlation or not. So if there is zero, so it means there is no relation between those two variables. So that's it for today. I hope you like this video. Thanks for watching the video. We'll see you in the